let's get back to the hugging incident, since that seems to be the big event of the day. There are some other issues to talk about. Yeah, he's seen his client, Mr. Baez, seen his client 7 out of 14 days. Let me ask Hugo Rodriguez, defense attorney and former FBI agent, is that so odd? I mean, I know lawyers, if they're interested in the concern for their client, they're there, and they're there around the clock.
I think this case is consuming Jose Baez, and I think that when she was out on home detention, the only place she could go was to be with counsel, and she spent an inordinate amount of time there. That was the only time that she could get away. I don't think there's anything to that. I don't think there's anything to the hugging. People are distraught. It's an emotionally based case. He comes in, he sees his client, he hugs her, he sits down and he interviews her. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
Patricia Saunders, clinical psychologist, it seems to me he would have been smart to come out and say, look, my client is in distress and I'm the only one there for her. He sounded a little bit almost too defensive. Methinks thou doth protest too much, instead of coming out and using it as a positive. Am I just reading way too much into this?
It's hard to tell with somebody like Casey Anthony, who is a chameleon. She plays roles, and here she may be playing the damsel in distress to his Lancelot, and he's going to rescue her. But it is kind of strange that he said, reportedly at one point, that he didn't know the rule in the jail. I wouldn't want a defense attorney who doesn't know basic rules in jails. It's a little suspicious.
Leonard Padilla, bounty hunter and helping to search for Caylee Anthony. Did you sit close to her?
On behalf of Jose, while we were back there for those 10 days, I can tell you this. She went to the office simply to get away from her mother and her dad. I'm telling you, that's the fact. Jose's family is just a great family. I may have disagreements with Jose on other things. That was just bad judgment on his part. And the reason that security prevents contact visits by attorneys is because look back in the history of the California prison breaks back in the 60s and 70s. They were always things that were conducted by an attorney bringing in a handcuff key or a gun to a prisoner. And it doesn't matter how innocent that prisoner looks, the security in those jails has to be firm, and it applies to everybody. As far as what's going on there, it was just bad judgment on his part on this particular issue. He made a mistake. And, it's just a mistake that he made. He was, he knows what the rules are.
And just very quickly, I've just got a few seconds. She does probably not encouraging physical contact, but encouraging the come to me and help me sort of routine, which a lot of people could easily fall into. Yes or no, Leonard?
Yes, absolutely. I said this before. The night that she bailed out of jail, she actually fixed dinner for my nephew. Right. Instead of sitting there and saying, okay, let's get a plan together. Let's go look for Caylee. She fixed dinner for him.
Right, yeah, I think that's part of her MO.